GETTY World Cup 2018, England will face Colombia in the last 16. More than 2 decades have passed since Southgate's lowest point as a player, his infamous spot kick miss against Germany at Euro '96. Southgate saw his tame effort saved and England crashed out in the semi-finals with a side under Terry Venables that were good enough to land the trophy themselves. That painful memory is still vivid in his mind, and not just because it turned him into TV star after mocking himself in an advert for a well-known pizza chain. On that fateful Wembley night, Southgate volunteered to take one despite having little experience of penalties, with coach Brian Robson asking him in the center circle, "Have you done this before?" The rest, as they say, is history. Related articles: there is lots we can do to own the process and not be controlled by it. In 1996 I was a volunteer really, Gareth Southgate, but now in charge. Southgate doesn't want to repeat when England face Colombia in Moscow on Tuesday to do battle for a place in the World Cup quarter-finals. The game could make or break Southgate after he admitted it is the biggest match England have played in a decade. So he is leaving nothing to chance. The squad have been practicing penalties since they first met up last month at St. George's Park and have been doing likewise since arriving in Russia. In May, Southgate presented to the FA board his penalty shootout blueprint, including the names of the players most suitable to take them, based upon psychological assessments of his squad. And Southgate also hopes to use his personal experience from 1996 to make the right decisions when the pressure is on. World Cup 2018 new ball, Adidas have launched the Telstar Mecca to be used in the knockout rounds of the World Cup. Adidas, absolutely, no question, he said. I have had a couple of decades thinking it through. In defense of the staff there at the time, penalty shootouts weren't as regular then, the depth of knowledge and understanding, we didn't have as much information as we do now. We weren't in those situations as often as we are now. It's definitely not about luck. It's not about chance. It's about performing a skill under pressure, and there are individual things you can work on within that. We have studied it. There are things that can be unhelpful in terms of their preparation for players at that moment, as staff knowing who is in charge of which bits, who needs to get out of the way, who can speak with clarity to the players. GETTY World Cup 2018, Gareth Southgate missed the crucial penalty in the defeat against Germany. There is lots we can do to own the process and not be controlled by it. In 1996 I was a volunteer really. The type of character I was, I felt you should put yourself forward. It is probably braver not to if you are not confident doing it, but we will have a more considered list of who has been finishing in training, what the numbers should be unless they are injured. If we have made changes, we keep updating the list. There are the players that take them regularly and have their own routine and are able to maybe change decision depending on the goalkeeper, and others who maybe don't take them as regularly, who need to probably practice 1 or 2 stock penalties that they are able to execute at that moment. That's what we have tried to do, to deduce what group they are in and is there a need for individual technique. Some we shouldn't be interfering with, others we are giving them a process which we believe will help them. England have only won 1 of their 7 penalty shootouts in tournaments, in the quarter-finals of Euro '96 against Spain, when Southgate did not take one. The Three Lions record in knockout matches is no better, with no victories since they beat Ecuador 1-0 in 2006. Colombia, ranked 4 places below England at 16th in the world, will provide a stern test of the side's progress under Southgate and their defense in particular. James Rodriguez is struggling with injury, but the South Americans can still boast a forward line including Radamel Falcao and Juan Cuadrado. There have been many different reasons for not getting over the line, some disciplinary, some have been penalty shootouts, said Southgate. GETTY World Cup 2018, England finished runners-up in Group G after defeat to Belgium. More often than not we have not been able to win those matches in normal time or in extra time. So loads of different reasons, but the main one being the level of the opposition we are playing against, the very best.
They pose you different technical and tactical challenges. I think all of the players mentioned are very talented players for their clubs. Cuadrado at Juventus has been a top performer. If you're at clubs like Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, the level is so high, it's a different level to other clubs, so I think these are top players. But I think we have some top players and some players who are on their way to being top players. Already in this tournament we've shown players who, on the world stage, have performed at a good level. Related articles.